Why is the film called The Great Everything and the Nothing? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Initially, it's a description of consciousness itself. It is no thing or nothing, but it also happens to be the source of everything we experience and know as life itself. One cannot be without the other. It's a statement on the vital duality of existence. But the great everything and the nothing is also about opportunity and possibility. Let's say, for example, that our current manner of living right now is the nothing, but it can be the everything whenever we so choose. The main point raised in the film is that we have the wisdom, the resources and the technology available to us right now to not just cater for everyone's human needs on this planet, but to create a version of life that's so beyond what we're currently doing that we can't even comprehend it yet. So the question is, what are we doing? Why are we choosing this awful state of reality? I'm not just talking about the really horrific atrocities happening on our home planet, such as people dying from dehydration, malnutrition, curable diseases, and the way that we currently undergo industrial practices. I'm talking about the stuff that's right in front of your nose, it's on your doorstep. Everywhere you look, people are destroying themselves doing jobs that don't need to be worked anymore. Over 3 billion of the 3.5 billion people employed or employable on this planet are working jobs that are either solely created by the money system, such as bankers, stockbrokers or betting shop workers, whatever, or the jobs that could easily be replaced or eradicated altogether by the technology we currently have available to us. Factory operatives, shop assistants, cleaners, bus drivers, that list is endless, degradingly endless. But you've got to go to those jobs, haven't you? If you don't, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay for shelter or food or your recreational needs. It's just a grotesque exploitation. They're exploiting your basic human needs. It's an exploitation of your neurological structure as a human being. That's why there's people homeless, in spite of the fact that in April of 2014, a bunch of Chinese builders, engineers, material scientists, they printed 10 houses in 24 hours. That's right, they printed them. That's the technological capability we've got available to us. There's no basis in our industrial decisions at the moment that are actually in logic or love. It's just plain insanity. And we're nurturing sociopathic traits, and you see them every day. It's becoming normal to be a sociopath. So at the very least, we could be refusing to pay for electricity whilst it's still being made in such an irrational fashion. We could be refusing to pay for food in supermarkets whilst it's being produced in a way that destroys our home and the lives of millions that it unnecessarily employs. But we're not. Our focus is elsewhere. Now, is this a case of nature or nurture? It's nurture, hands down. This is our environment making us so crazy. We're marinating in it, and we're not even meditating once or twice a week to wipe the slate clean from all this crazy cultural conditioning. In fact, meditation still isn't a normal everyday practice for our species. In spite of it being our only way of truly cleansing our perception, it's still seen as kind of a bit weird or Eastern or out there or whatever. To those who feel it, who know there's something totally wrong, it's now time to act on it. And I know it's scary. I remember that fear myself. I knew it really well for well over a decade before I finally said, no, I'm not doing this shit anymore. But I also remember the first time I refused to pay bills, or the first time I tasted my own homegrown food, the first time I gave a music lesson for free. There is nothing quite like it. And it's so scary to us because it means change. But the only thing constant in life is change. If you got a family, got a house, then you've got to sell it. You've got to buy that small plot of land somewhere, that last big purchase, so you can live sustainably and ethically. Can't afford it, like myself at the time, then you've got to start squatting. We want to live ethical lives, but we're all naively voting and keeping alive a system in which just pop into the shops greatly breaks all of our ethical codes. I'm not just talking about the out of mind, out of sight stuff. Ethics are about doing the best possible thing in a given situation. A system of living shouldn't make it so, but it does. And that's enough degradation for me to say no. I'm often told that the Oomun Group is great, but the way it's put across, it contains too much swearing, or that I'm too angry about the whole thing. To which I say this: you should be sad and angry by this. You should be saddened and angry by this system. If you're not, then you're not fully and honestly engaging with it. You're not feeling the pain of those suffering so unnecessarily. Wearing a spiritual mask or cloak in this situation is simply dishonest. A person laughing and dancing whilst their family are being tortured only makes the torture scene even weirder. Don't deny your feelings, they're there for a reason. Telling someone to stop swearing about an emotive issue, like this one, is like asking Beethoven to only play quietly or in a major key. whilst he's composing the Moonlight Sonata and going, death, it doesn't make any sense. Feel it. You've been governed by sociopaths, by other people, and you know that only you are in control of you. No president, no prime minister, no emperor. You've been motivated by numbers, digits, money as we call it, but it's all in the head. It's these beliefs that are the cause of almost all the unnecessary suffering we can account for in the world right now. So be motivated by the betterment of life for all, not by some weird magic numbers. This isn't us. It's our conditioning, it's the environment we've created. Well, it's the environment we've been thrown into, hurtled into. That's all social engineers do. They come across the problems, they find a solution, then they find a way of implementing that solution and putting it into reality. It's just a case of trying to remind people how simple all that actually is. We've got to do away with all these really strange notions that life is about us when it's about everything. We're obsessed with travelling, clubbing, watching the football. We're trying to fill our lives with something hedonistic so we're happy, unaware that the only thing that can fill that gap is giving our service, our passion or our talent to the world for free. That is the solution. That is civil resistance. That is the ultimate rebellion. And once all this nonsense is over, that gap that we're trying to fill, which is also called ego, that won't be there anymore. Giving your service to the world, whatever it may be, mechanical engineering, teaching, agricultural work, that is the ultimate meditation. If that's what you truly love doing, that will be the ultimate meditation. It will destroy all notions of a gap. So what's of higher priority to you than people starving? Than working your life away in some job you hate? Hedonism? Self-centeredness? These things are the problem. You're not going to solve the issue of a selfish, mindless system by being selfish and mindless. You can't fight fire with fire in this case, So the choice is yours. The change can come now or in 100 years. You can be the change. Right now, or it can be your children or your children's children. So when do you want to stop all of this and start truly living?